First date tips for guys to make sure that you get a second one. Afraid they might cancel? Do not text them the day of and say, hey, are we still on for tonight? This sub-communicates that you do not believe in yourself. Instead, reach out and say, hey, I'll be about 5 to 10 minutes late tonight. That way you don't leave her hanging on if you're gonna show up, and it's a way better alternative to find out if they are showing up as well. The second is to let them do the majority of the talking, which means you should ask great date questions in order to spark some conversation, such as, tell me what it was like to grow up with your family. Not only does this take the pressure off of you, but it has been psychologically proven that people tend to like you more if you have a genuine interest in their life. Plus, if they do the majority of the talking, what does that make you? It makes you a mystery. The third is that a lot of people try to hide who they really are, so be authentic. When you try to hide who you really are, then all it does is say that you're not confident in what you bring to the table, and it makes you overcompensate, which shows neediness. If you're crossing the street, hold her hand and guide her across the street, and let go after you cross. Tricks to be instantly more attractive over text. Has your texting ever went like this? Hey, hi, what's up? Nothing much, what about you? Nothing, cool. Well, no longer. One trick to be instantly more attractive over text is to disqualify yourself. And this is a subtle implication on why you two could never be together. For example, if they tell you what they like to do, say this, oh my, I didn't know that you were that type of person. Oh, look at that, something came up, gotta go. Send some emoji with that to make sure they know you're joking. And most likely they're gonna reply with something like, stop, don't be like that. Another trick to be more attractive over text is to send voice messages. This will keep the conversation spontaneous in order to keep their attention on the screen. And lastly, role-playing is one of the best ways to look more attractive. And one of the best role-plays is the play argument. You do some sort of fake argument with them and send all capital letters. Another example of the role-play is to make them either your husband or wife. Tell them about a romantic story of you two. Ask them about the things that they would be doing as your partner, and then tease them on their answer. If you ever find yourself stuck in the friend zone, then say this. A lot of people agree to being friends, and that's not what they want, making themselves believe that friends will lead them to romance, and it never does. Everything in life is a negotiation. Let's say she wants to be friends with you. That's her terms, and your terms are that you don't, but then you give in to her terms. Remember this. He who cares more in a conversation holds less of the power. The person who cares more gives into the other person's terms. And one common thing that I hear when people try to escape the friend zone, the person who wants to be just friends will say, well, that's just selfish of you, that you don't want to be friends with me. And if they say that, then you need to respond with this. Well, what's more selfish? You asking me to be something for you that I don't want to be, or me doing what's best for me? They won't be able to argue that. Signs that she likes you over text and Snapchat. If you see these specific signs, then make your move, because there's a huge chance that she is interested. And one huge sign she's interested is if you don't reply for a while and then she mirrors that. And this might sound immature, but literally so many people overthink this when texting somebody, is that if you take a while to respond at one point, then she might start to think, oh, he's not texting me, so I'm not gonna text him for a while then. Copying and acting like you don't care, just because they're taking a long time to reply, means that you probably care, and you probably care a lot. The second sign that somebody likes you over text or Snapchat is if they use a lot of emojis, specifically smiles, winks, pouty faces, and hearts. This is because they are trying to show their emotion through text, and it's been studied that emojis tend to capture attention, which means they are trying harder to grab your attention. One last sign and one test you can do to see if they're interested in you is called the good morning test. Simply just send her a good morning text. If she reacts kind of dry or negative, that probably means she's not as interested, but if she reacts positively, there's a good chance she likes you. Here is a common mistake that men make on the very first date, and if you do this, it's almost guaranteed that you will not get a second or a third. A lot of guys, when the date is just ending, they'll be dropping her off or saying goodbye. Then they try to set the next date right then and there. They're like, I had a really good time, what are you doing next Thursday at 6 p.m? We gotta go out again. Do not set the next date for a few days after the first. This is because she needs to wonder about you. She'll be talking to her friends. You know, he didn't ask me out again, do you think he had a good time? This wondering is gonna make her reach out to you, and that's when you set the next date. Because if you try to rush her out again, it just makes you look needy, and it makes you look like you don't have a lot of options. So make sure you're patient and build the anticipation for the next date. Here's how to re-attract her if you were the one that messed it up. You might have messed up by being needy. This could be approval seeking, always trying to get her to say why she likes you. Maybe you kept trying to get affection, or just posted about her on social media way too much. But neediness stems from deep insecurity, which means you always needed to know if she loves you. Basically, you never felt secure. But here's the thing, is that women are attracted to men who show emotional strength, and neediness shows the opposite. It's not about your money or your looks, but it's about how you behave. So what we need to do is strengthen your emotional center. So first things first, you need to give her space. Don't text her, don't Snapchat her, don't like her posts. Give her and yourself the time to process. Next, you need to seek validation internally, not externally. If you are seeking external validation, it begins to come out in the way that you talk, walk, and act. This behavior pushes people away. Take some time to focus on on you and your life. Ask yourself, what even are your goals? Because this is what makes a successful relationship. It's not two people clinging to each other, but two whole people coming together with their full lives.